Hello, 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 everyone. Hello, ladies. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on when you catch this live. This is Tamara Mitchell Davis popping in. I am here to talk about, what am I talking about? I almost forgot. I had it written down what I'm talking about, and I just drew a blank. But I am going to talk about writing a book, right? How writing a book is beneficial for the writer. So oftentimes we pretty much talk about like the benefits of the book or who we're writing for, who, you know, the target audience, our ideal customer, ideal client, writing content for the reader, right? Because we want to make impact with our book. We want to share our message, our movement, our book, our story. And so oftentimes we approach it as, you know, what's in it for the reader? But today, right now, I want to talk about you as the writer. I want to talk about you as a writer. So I want to share a few tips with you on how writing a book is beneficial for you as the writer. All right. So as you are joining this live, this is a live. Let me know that you are here. Say hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, some hearts, some likes, so on and so forth, to let me know that you are here. So I'm going to jump into it to share a few tips, a few reasons why writing a book is beneficial for you as a writer. And so I'm going to give a rundown, just a, you know, quick list. How it's beneficial. It's been beneficial for me. It's been beneficial for others I've worked with. It's been beneficial for most published authors, because there's something that happens when we write and share our story. And so that's what I want to share with you. So let me preface this. I am not in any way saying don't consider the reader. You always want to consider your reader and the content you are putting out, the words that you put on paper, the words that end up in your book, because your book is for someone else. You are writing your book. You are delivering your book baby in the hands of those who will gain information, receive a transformation, maybe change a perspective, maybe provide some inspiration, some motivation, some hope, something, right? That's why you're writing a book. You're writing a book to share a message around something that is near and dear to you. So whether it's a personal story, whether it's a process, a strategy, a tip, something you've learned, something you want to share, whatever case it may be, it will be in book form, and it is for the reader to gain this information, to learn from the information, to just have a source of information. So that's it for the reader. So yes, you always consider the reader. You always consider your reader. But I want you to also think about you. Let's be selfish for this one moment, this minute in time. Let's be selfish with this for right now, okay? So if you ask, you know, what's in it for me, right? Sometimes, and I just did a masterclass, and some of the ladies shared in the comments how long they've been writing their book. Some said they have been writing for weeks, some months, some even years. And so that's my own story. It took me years to get my first book published. And now I am in the process, in the works of book 9 and book 10. However, it did take me some time to get it to the marketplace. And I want you to think about, okay, what's in it for me? Because a lot of times we are delaying our own selves, right? Delaying our own selves. So whether it's the self-doubt, whether it's the fear that bubbles up, whether it's, you know, believing in our own abilities and capabilities, it happens, right? It's common. It happens to most. So I want you, though, think about what's in it for you, because there's a lot that you can gain from writing your book. And that's what I want to share with you right now. So the first thing that you will gain, well, not the first. I don't even want to say, I'm always doing numbers. I don't want to do numbers. Mine don't do numbers. I always do that. So I'm just going to share with you without the numbers. Hopefully it may come out. It may or may not. Just roll with me if it does. So I'm going to share with you some ways that it is beneficial for you to write your book. So something that you'll gain when writing your book is a better sense of time management. And I always come back and say it's not really about time management, it's self-management. So it's managing yourself within the time that you have. We all have the same 24 hours in a day. So it's how we manage ourselves within the time. So when you are writing a book, this is another responsibility, another task for you to do, for you to start and finish and complete. And so it is carving out time in an already busy schedule, an already busy life. So whether you are a wife, a mom, a career woman, 1, 2, or all 3, and still carrying more titles than that, guess what? It is about adding something else to your schedule. So something that you will definitely acquire is a sense of self-management within the time that you have allotted, because you would need to schedule time to write. Like there will be times when you will need to say, you know what, today is the day that I will sit down and I will write. Hey Lisa, I will sit down and I will write. This is about a goal that I have, and so this is, what I intending to do, plan to do, and I need to show up and do it, because a book won't just write itself. And so it is time management or self-management within the time. So as a writer, this is something that you will definitely learn, get more familiar with, or even improve upon, because this is something that you would need to do. So time management is one of them. Something else that you will definitely gain when you are writing your book is self-motivation. Self-motivation. So, had to take a pause. So self-motivation. You'll gain self-motivation because, like I said, the book won't just write itself. And so there will be times when, yes, you wake up excited. You're like, oh, today I'm going to work on my book. And then there may be times when I'm like, you know what? I'm not even sure what I'm doing, what words to put on paper. And somewhere within the grand scheme of things, you will need to find some motivation, self-motivation, that will encourage you, motivate you, inspire you in some way, shape, or form to show up and write. To show up and write, to show up for you. Because again, you're writing the book for someone else, your reader, but you're not able to get the book, what you created, to them if the book isn't published. And so it will require you to have some motivation, some self-motivation, and managing yourself within the time that you're allotted. Also, it will require you to set some goals, right? And so if you have made a decision to say, my book will be published this year. And what does that look like for you? How frequently do you need to show up and write? Do you need to show up every day and write? Do you need to show up, a few times a week and write? Is it monthly? Like, how soon? I'm in the wrong lane. How soon or how much writing do you need to get done in order to hit your goal, in order to meet your goal? And so it will require you as a writer to set some goals. Like, what does that look like for you? And it's not about how many pages, like word count. We typically count the words. And so what does that look like for you? Does that mean committing to writing 200 words or committing to writing 500 words? Or could you commit to writing 1,000 words? What does that look like for you? And how long do you need to do that to hit your goal? How long do you need to do that to hit your goal, depending on the length of your book, the word count, total word count for your book, and just you having somewhat of a finished product. So, self-management within the time, self-motivation, goal setting, of course. And so this is all for the writer. Something else that will happen with you is the transformation that takes place. So it's just something about you acknowledging where you are in the space, acknowledging that you are a published author, acknowledging that you carry the title of published author, acknowledging that this is another accolade, if you will, that you've accomplished and achieved. And so it is definitely transformation, because it feels good when you say, yes, I am a best-selling published author, or yes, I have a book, in these spaces and places or bookstores, or yes, I've sold X amount of copies of my book, Or I have a book. Would you like to purchase a copy of my book? So that definitely feels great. And so it's the transformation that happens from taking a once thought, an idea, and really seeing the evolution of it, so that you now have a book in your hand, and now you can rep this book in your hand to say, I am a published author, and you can grab a copy of my book. So it's definitely transformative. It's definitely fulfilling, because it is a great feeling when you know you set out to do something, and not only did you hit your goal, but you smashed it, exceeded it, accomplished it. It is a great feeling. It is a great feeling. And last but certainly not least, thinking about the transformation when you are writing a story, right? And it's personal, it's connected to you. It is just freeing to finally get it out. Speaking for myself, it is really freeing to finally get your story out, because maybe you've been challenged in that area, thinking about, where do I start? What do I write about? Will someone read the book, or is it good enough, right? Having some of those questions. And when you can finally see that you've taken the time to put your story on paper, knowing, understanding, and believing that your story will help someone else, the fact that not only have you acknowledged the story, you've lived it, you've experienced it, you put it out there, it is definitely freeing. Like, it's no longer a thought anymore. It's no longer in your head. It's no longer something you're challenged with, you're troubled with. It's no longer just that, right? It is evidence, words in a book. It is evidence of the possibilities, because it is something that you've done, you've committed to, you've accomplished, you got your words out. And so therefore you don't have to be challenged with thinking about the what ifs, because now you can say, I did. You don't have to be challenged with the what ifs, because at that point you can therefore say, I did that. And so sharing your story, and if it's a heavy story that you're sharing, it is freeing, because you're like, you know what? There's no turning back now. I've shared it. I'm over it. I've addressed it. I've worked through it. My story will help someone else. This is a wrap. It is done. It is so. It is finished. And now it is going to the marketplace. And so that is definitely freeing, because you are no longer held captive by whatever it is that you felt challenged by, as you were writing and sharing your story. And so those are just some quick ways of how writing a book can definitely be transformative, can definitely be an experience, can definitely be beneficial for you as the writer, right? Because again, we approach things and we think about, especially in the book writing space, you always hear like, who are you writing for? Who's your ideal client? Who's your target audience? What are you looking to share? What type of information are you sharing with them? And that is great, and that is spot on, and that is true. But I want to also share with you, like, this is what can happen for you as the writer. This is what happens with you as the writer. So everything I shared just now for you as the writer, to me, is a win, because anytime that you are growing and you are, in a space of evolving or accepting or forgiving or freeing or just moving through things, it is a win. And so if you've been challenged with writing your book and thinking about should I, could I, I'm here to tell you, you can. You can. Yes, you can. You can write your book. And so don't put it off anymore, because yes, it's for the reader. But honey, there's also great things in store for you as the writer. Personally. Hi, Samenia. Thanks for joining. Personally. So that's what I wanted to share and impress upon you today. Don't put it off anymore. If writing your book is your goal, if it's been on your to-do list, it won't just disappear and it won't just go away. So why keep running from something that you've always wanted to do? Lean in. Yes, it's for the reader, but it's also for you. It's personal. It's also for you. So have an amazing day. That's what I wanted to share today. Yes, it's for the reader, but it's also for you. And if you are just now hearing me for the very first time, and don't know, like, who this here woman? Tamara Mitchell Davis here. All things writing, publishing, and business building. Host of the Pen to Profit Conference and founder of the Pen to Profit Write, Publish, and Build private Facebook community, of course, on Facebook. So have an amazing day. I am a published author, and it feels great to say that. Definitely feels great to say that. And if you haven't done so already, I want you to experience and have that same feeling. So I'll talk to you all soon. If you missed it, go back to the beginning and catch it from the beginning on ways that I'm sharing with you how writing your book is beneficial for you as the writer. So take care, stay safe, stay blessed. I'll talk to you all soon. I said stay blessed. Talk to you all soon. Take care. Bye.